side, Steen Pedersen, and these are the matches coming up next. Porntip against Kirsty Gilmour, men's doubles, with France taking on the Philippines, and Indonesian interest in Linda Weni Venetra against the Dutch player Soraya de Visch Eibergen. So lots more to look forward to on court. Istora Sanayan here in Jakarta, looking forward next to this match then. Interesting matchup as well it is. Porntip Buranaprasertsuk up against Kirsty Gilmour. Thai player who, well, has had much success, although not really in the last couple of years, against an up-and-coming Scot. And this is who they'll face in the next round. Nozomi Okuhara of Japan, with Ipui already through to face Sung Ji-hyun after her win over Joy Lei of Australia. So that's the carrot, if you like, for the Thai and Scottish player to face Okuhara in the round of 32. And there's no doubt both Porntip and Gilmour, talented players, have the potential to go a tournament. So yeah, not the easiest of drawing on that, or maybe even back me up on it, is Steen Pedersen. Steen, welcome back into the commentary box. It should be a decent encounter, this.
Yeah, I think we're in for a good match. Of course, we know Porntip a regular on the Superseries tournament, and I think actually she's won a tournament. And Kirsty Gilmour, one of the most talented younger European players. So very interesting match coming up here.
Yeah, you're right to say that. There is Porntip, the first Thai to win a Super Series event when she won the India Open back in 2011. Of course, the last few years she's been usurped by her compatriot Ratchanok Intanon, of course the 2013 world champion. And it's fair to say the last couple of years have been pretty barren, not really what was expected. She's still very young, is Porntip, at 23, but 2 years senior to this young lady, is Steen saying, the top-ranked British player in the women's singles. And much expected of Kirsty Gilmour. Worth remembering, of course, that these World Championships will be hosted in her native city of Glasgow in 2017. Porntip won the toss. And Kirsty Gilmour has decided to serve first. Nozomi had a couple of wins this year as Okuhara. As you see, ranked 24, Porntip. Of course, she has been in the top 10 of the world. You can see her win-loss ratio this year negative. Not gotten beyond the quarter-final at any event in the last, not just this year, 2 years. And this from a Super Series winner. Lost in the first round in 3 of her last 4 events. She has got to the 3 times, but her recent form doesn't suggest that she will come here bubbling and full of confidence, does it? As for Kirsty, list 33 in the world. At the Indonesia Open here, as you see, got a positive win ratio this year. She took the Olympic champion Li Shuai to 3 sets. And then she made it to the quarterfinals of the US Open once before. And this year, in March, at the Swiss Open, it was the last 16. You have to say it was a very convincing win for Porntip, wasn't it? 21-12, 21-15. So even though she might be lacking confidence, Porntip, I mean, she can reflect on that at least.
Yeah, and that's one of the issues with Kirsty Gilmour, that she can be quite up and down in her game. Games where she got a silver medal. Hopefully she can build from that, seen from a Scottish perspective.
Yeah, lost to Michelle Lee, the Canadian, in that final. But made her the most successful squad in the history of that event, and suffered a little bit of a downturn after that. And you have to say, there's no doubt Porntip suffered a downturn in the last couple of years. It's interesting, isn't it, when you burst onto the scene like she did. And well, now, I mean, listen, I know she's still only 23 and she's still in the top 25 of the world, but you know, no way beyond the quarterfinals the last couple of years in any event. It's not really what was expected of her.
But it must also be a little bit tough to practice with a player like Rachana Gintanen, because I wouldn't expect her to win too many matches against her in practice. I might be wrong, but
well, I think she used to. I mean, they've met many times over the years. In fact, they met in the World Junior Championships in Malaysia 2009, and Ratchanok beat Porntip there. So I mean, I mean, it could raise her standards. You're saying it may have demoralised her.
Yeah, it depends a little bit. We've seen some examples where, for instance, in Swedish tennis, when Björn Borg was dominant, he didn't lose any games in practice, and that sort of demoralized the players coming up, whereas the players, Mats Wilander, he regularly lost matches in practice, and when he was winning on a world stage, of course, the ones that beat him in practice,
ladies and gentlemen,
then we can do it as well.
Kirsty, Gilmour, Scotland. And on my left, Buranaprasertsuk, Thailand. Kirsty, Gilmour, Joseph, level play.
Well, there's no doubt really Porntip here will be the favourite, but it's not one of those that jumps out and you say this is a certainty. Kirsty Gilmour has her chances here, but can she take them against what is a talented Thai after all?
Service over.
Had a little deception, Gilmour, but
it's been a confident Porntip and a nervy one from Kirsty Gilmour here.
yeah. That's going right there.
Have
you picked up on the drift?
Yeah, definitely. The drift is, there's a side drift going left to right, and then there's a drift along the court coming from the opposite side going towards Kirsty Gilmour, so Gilmour plays up against the wind.
Is that an advantage to be up against the wind or not?
In men's singles, it's definitely an advantage. In women's singles, I would also say it's an advantage, but it requires you to play in a style. You have to put pressure on with flat lifts. You see, very hard for Porntip to control that flat lift there. You have to cover the front court a lot and leave shots on the back court to see if they go long, especially in the beginning of the game, where it doesn't cost so much if you're wrong.
3-4.
Porntip, on the other hand, needs to play quite an attacking style on this side of the court, because she will have trouble playing with accuracy to the baseline of Kirsty Gilmour.
Okay, so I was making the statement earlier that Porntip's the favourite. Kirsty Gilmour's got a chance. Is anything from the opening 9 exchanges that changes that point of view?
No, I totally agree with you. And you can see that should it go to a deciding game, Porntip will finish the match on the free that was going long.
That was well in.
Yeah, and that's really really devastating, because there's no doubt that she's been here ahead of her match to sort of try to pick up on the drift, Kirsty Gilmour, and then The first one she leaves is actually quite a bit inside. No doubt that Porntip is the more experienced of the two players. She's played in conditions like this more times than Kirsty Gilmour.
Yeah, well, Kirsty, as I said, was here for Indonesia Open, and she played very well actually against Lee Shuai. Took her to 3 games, but as you say, Porntip much more used to. I think she reached 2 Super Series finals. That's why the dip in form 2014 so far in 2015 is, well, I wouldn't say it's come from nowhere, but you wouldn't have predicted that a couple of years ago.
Oh, that's wild.
Service over. 9.
All the time have nicknames. Here's I wouldn't think she's been at peace in terms of in the last. Bet the Danish players had a few nicknames for you, didn't they, Steve, when you were head coach?
10, 5.
Any broadcastable?
Not too much. The only famous nickname is, of course, Carsten Mogensens.
The judge. So, is this in or out? We shall find out. It's been referred to the Hawkeye. Sorry, was that Carsten's nickname, the judge? Or
No,
you're all saying about the judge here.
Carsten Mogensen is known by. I can't really figure out how it's. It's long. Oh, sorry, wide.
It is wide, yeah. Worth a shout, though.
Challenge unsuccessful. Remaining 5. Play.
Yeah.
6.
Very gifted technical-wise, Kirsty Gilmour. We've often seen European players with limited technical repertoire, but that doesn't go for her.
Not the greatest of draws, is it, first round, if you're Kirsty Gilmour, I suppose. No. She's had about a bit of it goes in runs, like, doesn't it? I mean, you know, Lee Shuai, first round Indonesia Open. She had Busanan,
6. Interval.
another talented Thai player. And here she is up against Porntip here, who's off to a fairly confident start, 11-6. To that point, she leads at the first of the intervals.
Former Dutch player Chris Breuel coaching Kirsty Gilmour.
She's been working with him for a while. There was some talk, you probably will know, I read somewhere, and obviously it hasn't come to fruition, there was some talk about Tina Bown maybe getting involved. But as I say, obviously that hasn't happened.
Thank you.
Obviously there's a bit of politics involved, Badminton Scotland and obviously Badminton England, and which facilities are used.
11. Play.
English based in Milton Keynes, of course Kirsty's from Glasgow.
Service over. 7-11.
Because when it's Olympics, it all comes under the Great Britain banner as far as those countries are concerned.
We we saw that after the 2012 Olympics, where Prasertsuk and Imogen Banker split up. Imogen going back to practice in Scotland.
Might have had something to do with the wedding bells that were about to ring.
Yeah. Still, they were silver medalists at the Worlds.
Not sure.
Service over. 8.
But okay, it's been a bad couple of years for Porntip, but I mean, she has got a shot at redemption. She missed out on the Olympics by the smallest of margin in 2012. Obviously, the top 16, isn't it, qualify? And going into the last qualifying event, she was 14th. She lost in the first round of the Japan Open, and she dropped down to 17th place in the world rankings.
14-8.
Obviously, a bitter blow for her.
Yeah, it's a huge goal for most of these players to the Olympics.
That time the drift did take it wide.
Service over. 9-14.
Very nice shot there.
14.
Not too hard a smash, but just putting it below the tape, making sure that Porntip was not able to attack her back.
Oh, and that's
Service
just
over.
wide.
15-10.
Look at the feet of Kirsty Gilmour, if we can see them here, and she's jumping. We can't, but I'm pretty sure one of them was long of the court,
And it was pretty tight as well to the line with the return as well. She didn't challenge it this time. Of course, she's already had one unsuccessful challenge, only got one left. And at 16-10, time is kind of running out in this game.
Service over. 11-16.
Into Buranaprasertsuk with a 16-11 lead. That'll be worth it.
way too long afterwards.
Well,
Challenges
accepted by the umpire.
I'm with you though. I mean, it was her coach challenging, not her, wasn't it?
Exactly. She was looking at her coach and he said, just challenge. And
I
then
mean,
she put up her arm, and that's not allowed.
It is
must
worth
be
a
instant.
challenge, but you're right, that's not the right protocol. But umpire let it slip through, and
A wasted challenge.
it was close though, wasn't it?
challenge unsuccessful.
The line judges are enjoying this though. That's 2 unsuccessful challenges. I think they have competitions between them, you know, who can come out unscathed.
And we've seen Ratchanok Inton on a number of occasions also challenging quite early in the matches, and almost every time she's been unsuccessful.
There is a skill, isn't there, to the challenges. That's given in. Questioning look from Gilmour.
Good control from Porntip. She's played well here in the first game. Good follow-up. I don't see women's singles fire away smashes and following up on the net. Or should I say, we haven't seen it for a while, but now we're seeing Carolina Marin, Kirsty Gilmour, a couple of the Chinese players also really good at following up.
Service over. 18-13.
Well, there's not much between them, but it's a 5-point gap as far as the scoreline's concerned. Following up again there.
Excellent play.
Service over. 14, 18. Service over. 19, 14.
They'll be able to do enough. And to readjust the bun in her hair.
Service over.
And she's played some really good points, hasn't she, in this this
Yeah.
opening game?
Yeah, she has.
Talking about Gilmour.
I must say that Porntip has been a little bit more steady, taking the perhaps not so spectacular points, but pretty much been in control of this first game. Normally 19-15, quite comfortable lead.
Four. Game.
Well, there you go. There, Buran taking the opening game. Porntip in charge right now.
And of course, positive for her winning on the presumably more difficult side. But I'm actually very excited to see this second game, because I think Kirsty Gilmour has the attacking weapons to do well on the opposite side of the court, and we could have a really, really close battle.
Yeah, it certainly has the potential for it, doesn't it?
Hold 1, 20 seconds. Hold 1, 20 seconds.
Both players not surprisingly lost in the first round last year.
Kirsty. Kirsty.
Kirsty was claiming exhaustion after, because of the Commonwealth Games, and then the World Championships followed pretty quickly. She lost
Second game.
to Karen Schnauzer in straight games. Michelle Lee, who beat Kirsty in that Commonwealth Games final, she beat Porntip in the first round of these World Championships last year in Copenhagen. Nicely placed.
Clever play by Porntip, anticipating the shot from Gilmour and just stepping half a step forward and killing.
This one, 790 and blue 1, 2, and 10 T
important for Porntip to get the right length on her lifts from this side of the court. If she plays too short as here, then Kirsty Gilmour has the firepower to challenge her. There's another challenge.
Well, she had a pretty good view there, but we shall see.
Challenges called in.
One of the shots that are hard for the line judges to get correct, the ones that are sort of sliding out over the baseline.
Both players unsuccessfully challenged in the opening game. Oh, it's a close one.
Yeah, it's a good challenge.
Yeah.
Correction. Out. Service over. 2-1.
That's good. That's a good service.
Yeah.
Exactly on the line.
3-1.
I thought it was going up from our position here when we're sitting. Very accurate. Good shot.
Oh, yes. Well, it's been a good little spell, hasn't it?
1.
Since the verification of a challenge. A couple of good points for Gilmour. Good serve, and then this winner.
Oh.
Oh, how disappointing after playing the point.
2-4.
On
3-4.
8. Sorry, on 14, men's double number 12. These are mechanical official.
Service over. 5-3.
Gives up. France and the citizens BWF USA. Now, please welcome Liu and Day1, Canada versus Matthew Cho and Australia.
She's playing a little bit too short now. Porntip
6-3.
gets punished immediately. This lift here, very, very short. Excellent shot. Reverse slice there from Kirsty Gilmour. She's really treating us to some of her technical skills.
Yeah, it's been an impressive start to the second game. Got and you said Porntip's been in the top 10 of the world records. Kirsty's been as high as 16, obviously at 33 right now. But it gives you an idea, certainly great potential she has.
Great shot.
Winner as well. Fabulous from Porntip.
4-8.
Both players taking a little bit of a breather after that.
Yes. Kirsty.
Excellent defensive play here from Porntip and counter-attacking herself. Very important now. The rally just after one of those very, very long rallies. You really want to win that.
5-8. Service over. 9-5.
Well, we're hoping for a good match, aren't we? I think we're getting one here. Been too many unforced errors like that recently.
Service over. 11-6. Interval.
So, Kirsty Gilmour, so far so good in trying to level this match up. Another really good shot from her. She really has just upped it up, I think, consistency-wise in this second game.
Yeah, and it's hard for Porntip to get the right length on her shot. She's being put under pressure all the time. So she actually, Porntip, has to play in the same playing style that she played the first. She needs control in order to prevent Kirsty Gilmour from doing it. And that's what's a little bit awkward for many players, that to attack a lot more when you're playing in.
Coach.
And she can't afford to let
11-6.
Gilmour have the initiative. Skills and her powerful footwork to put pressure on the Thai player. That
Service
was
over.
caught by the side drift.
7-11.
Excellent drop shot, very, very short.
8-11.
Forces Gilmour to try to take half a step more than she normally does.
Service over. 12-8.
Fist of this, isn't she?
Yeah. It's also very, very hard to try and cross clear from that position she was in, Porntip. It takes an awful lot. Any side drift. So maybe we should sort of reconsider this, which side is the good side, because it seems that the players here in this match are winning on the opposite side of the court.
Service over. 9-14.
Yeah.
Or at least playing well on the other side of the court, because, I mean, it's only a 5-point gap, so it's definitely still doable for Porntip.
Yeah, there's no guarantee yet this is going to go to a decider. Gilmour's going to have to maintain a good level. That is a second one that's just
11-14.
beyond where she wanted it.
Yeah, I think the service from Porntip just touched the net cord and changed direction a little bit, and that's all it takes to sort of get off timing in your shot.
Service over. 15-11. Kirsty.
Porntip here.
15.
Controlled attack and then push Kirsty Gilmour to the back court.
On court 4, women's singles number 27. Buranaprasertsuk.
Well watched by Porntip, and it's just closed up a little. 5-point leads become just 2 now.
This is one of the situations where Kirsty needs to become better, because she's just blown her lead in no time. And the opponent hasn't really scored on her. It's herself who's sort of made the points for Porntip. That's another.
Wrongly left this time by Gilmour. And it's 15-all now.
15-all.
Suddenly the finishing line's inside, isn't it?
Yeah. Actually, ever since we said, well, I said that I thought she was playing well on that side of the court. She's been playing quite terribly.
So Porntip
17-15.
getting a second round. Nozomi Okuhara of Japan awaits the winner here. And she's right now looking ever more likely to be Porntip Buranaprasertsuk. That's all left again.
18-15.
This is a decisive run of points, you feel, for the Thai player. 7 in a row. Breaks that got a run at least.
16,
Yeah.
18.
Yeah, the umpire keeps calling it Kirsty. Do you think that bothers her or not? Do you know what I mean? It's not one where you want to say, actually, it's
No.
Kirsty,
Yeah.
because you don't want to be rude, do you?
Uh,
It's like if I kept calling you Stain all the way through this.
that's my name. No.
Do you know what I mean? You might say, well, Richard Leighton, you might tell me it's good.
Hopefully she doesn't notice it. She should be totally focused on what's going on the green surface.
A couple of points back.
17, 18.
It's well left. Not easy to let that drop. Trailing by 2 in the second game and down 1 game. You would be tempted to try to return it.
Yeah, well done.
18, all.
Just in the nick of time, she got her game together again. 3 very nice rallies here, but I think it might have costed dearly the area of mistakes that she made in the middle of this game.
Yeah, from 15-11 up, she was 18-15 down.
Play.
Tries to play it too close. Porntip leaves it on her own side.
Oh, well left. That really was a vital rally. I mean, never mind the scoreline, it brings up game points, but I mean, it was one run. She had to move out of the way.
Money. 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 Money.
Not a question of button it.
She was flicking sweat off her forehead, and that's not allowed.
One game point denied by a long serve. Not the best of time to do that. Still another game point remains.
Oh, almost left it short. I think it touches the net corner again. The service from Porntip.
And from saving a couple of game points, Porntip now has a match point. Minutes into this match. Porntip. Buranaprasertsuk. There's an opportunity to wrap things up. Oh, played. Facing match point, coming up with the goods there. So 21 points all.
Seems like she hurt her neck or something.
21 all.
Didn't see anything wrong there.
Service over. 22.
And another match
21.
point.
I don't think we've seen any short services from Kirsty Gilmour, and that's a little bit surprising because as an attacking player with an attacking playing style, I wouldn't want to give the initiative away all the time on the services.
Well, it's wide from Gilmour. It's been a gallant fight, and well, she had the opportunity here, a couple of game points to make it one game all, but it's Porntip, Buranaprasertsuk, who goes through to face Nozomi Okuhara in round 2 of these 2015 World Championships. Porntip relieved, happy, satisfied to see that one finish wide of the mark. A good match, a fairly tight affair, but Porntip on top, 21-15, 23-21. Well, we'll play Porntip, Steen, but there's got to be a few regrets here from Kirsty, particularly when she had that opportunity. She served it long at 2018 up.
Yeah, game points, but yeah, Porntip should feel satisfied getting away with this in a two-game match. Who knows what might have happened if this went into 3? She might have won anyway, but I think Kirsty Gilmour, she is of course disappointed now, but there's definitely some things in her game that is worth building on, and she shouldn't be too disappointed. She's allowed to make a little bit more mistakes herself because she can create so many points as well. So that's what we see from attacking players, that we also see more mistakes. So we should take that into account, and she just have to go back to Glasgow to work on her game.
But Porntip through to round remains for her. Men's doubles, Baptiste and Ronan Labar up against a Filipino of Magnay and Vivas. Peter Gabriel, Magnay, and Paul Jefferson, Vivas. Plenty more to look forward to. Kento Momota, one of the top players really on court 1 today. Always good to see him in action up against the big German of Dieter Domke. And then there'll be plenty of home support, won't there, when Linda-Wenny Fenetri takes on the Dutch player Soraya de Wisch-Eibergen. So this is our next offering, and it's a men's doubles affair.